Good morning. It is 24th of August. I'm not sure what time it is, around 10:30 or something like that. And I am in the North Heywood area of Rochdale, and it's very much linked to the three girls scandal, this area. And there is going to be some action here next month. I'll give you a bit more of a rundown on that later. I hope my sound's alright. I'm doing this a bit off the fly. As you can see over there is Delights. I'm going to be talking about that particular shop in a minute. But first of all, let's get a couple of statistics about the Harewood area, voting and the electorate and that. So we've got roughly a population about 10,000 in this ward. Majority white, 9,500. And this is from the last local elections, 2019, early 2000. The last local elections, whenever that was, 2019. Of that, you've got about 7,000 who are Christian. There's about 2,500 that have no religion, but you can be pretty sure that it's dominated by Christians, and even the people who said they haven't got a religion would have been brought up with Church of England values, Catholic values, certainly. The turnout the last election was 17.68, which is absolutely dismal for a turnout on an electorate. Like I said, 17.68. What else? It's the moment the man in charge is Ray Dutton, Labour. Labour's dominated these areas for quite a few years. Funny enough though, the Harewood area around here, not sure if it was North Harewood, but in the Harewood area was the last stronghold of the BNP in the early 2000s. And I met some BNP activists when Gavin Opley were killed 2001 in Oldham, and they did a bit in Oldham and stuff like that. But like I said, it's one of the last strongholds in the north, Great Manchester, of the BNP. So the road there I'm looking at is Manchester Road. To the right, we're going to the centre of Harewood onto Manchester Street, which goes right through the centre. Further on, and then you come into West Harewood. You come into the West Harewood area where the Darnhill area is. I'm doing another video on that area soon. So, what do I know? So it was early 2019. A local patriot in this area gave us a call, asked us to support him on a bit of an action, which was at that shop. Now let me give you a rundown. There was 3 14-year-olds went in for something to drink, or an ice cream or something, or a shake. There was a verbal altercation. When they've come out of the shop and they're hanging outside the shop, a white van's pulled up. 2 or 3 grown men have come out and hit the kids, these 14-year-old kids, and he was 14-year-old. I met these lads. The tallest was just a skinny little waif. They didn't look like drug dealers or anything like that. They weren't bad boys or anything, and they were attacked outside the shop by a white van. Now, according to the guy in the shop, one of the lads has said a racist comment. That's all, just a racist comment. Never said what it was or anything like that. And the police got informed, no further action. So we did a bit of a social media buzz over it. Next thing, I'll put the link up and I'll put the picture up in afterwards. And there was a post come on from the Harewood policing team saying they were aware of something was going on. So who's turned up? Me, Joel Taylor, Arlene, Diane, Tom and Kim, Porky, God bless Porky. That's England FC. couple of others and the lad in question of the area. So we've come to the shop, we've met up with the family members of the lads who were attacked, plus easy 100 youths all who knew this lad. Now, I'm not saying there was no smashing chairs, there was no threatening anyone from the young lad's side, and I did pull him on my video and I said, look, right, you can tell me, did you say Packy? And he said, no, I didn't. You can tell me, you're not going to get in trouble off me. And if anyone else thinks you're going to get in trouble, they'll have me on the case, you're not going to get in trouble. And the lad said he didn't say anything like that, neither did the other two lads. Now, I did a Facebook video and I did go into quite a big, lengthy talk about these kind of shops that we have. They're unchecked. A lot of these would have had immigration issues, having illegal people working in the shop. There's a shady looking room above the shop, and in the Free Girl scandal, this area, this road was linked to that through the takeaways. There's a taxi rank just up that way to the left, Britannia Cars. I don't know who runs it, whether they're white, pink, black or whatever. And just across down this shop, down this road is just loads of kebab houses and that kind of thing. And this is where the girls were abused in the Free Girl scandal. This is where they were trafficked to and from to other places. Oldham is one of them. Further on in Rochdale, other areas of Rochdale, no doubt across Greater Manchester areas. And I mean, what the problem I have is that we don't have any kind of like checks on these. I will be doing a part 2 to this in the Darnhill area, and I've got evidence of counter-terrorism going to a shop, customs and excise going to a shop, and immigration going to a particular shop, but we'll get into that. That'll be in part 2. So it's changed its name now because after we came, there was so many bad reviews, they had to change the name, and the name's been changed because it wasn't called Delights before. So we came down, the police were here. Also, we had Katie Razzle, who is a BBC Newsnight reporter, and she did a video called Britain's Yellow Vest Activists. I'll put the link up in the chat, where she talked about me, James Goddard and Tracy Blackwell. We did have our yellow vests on, but at the time our yellow vests had on them the Manchester Collective that we'd just started up, and we only wore them not because we were doing a yellow vest action, we just wore them to identify us. And it was a snowy, dark night and we're on a main road, so we thought we'd better wear some like yellow vest stuff because we might have been in the road, and we did. We was in the road part of the action. So, going further on, so the lads have been beat up by 2 or 3 grown men who jumped out of a white van. Now, when the lads have gone off, one of them's walked a certain way. The van's followed him, jumped out again, give him another couple of licks in front of his friend's house, and I think his mum's seen it, and then put up the like that if you come near the shop, you're gonna get that. And the police weren't going to do any further action. Now, even if that lad had said something racist or anything, they should have looked into the fact that grown men have come out and beat these lads up. They're only 14, skinny little waifs. I met all 3 of them. They wouldn't have been able to do any physical violence themselves. It was 14-year-old. And what I went on about the video, I was stood more outside the pharmacy, filming everyone outside. The BBC have come up and said, "You're fake news, go away." And then the last bit of a clip they put up was me saying from one side of the road when they were walking, "Oh, I'd love to smash her equipment up." You know, that's it. I didn't threaten anyone with death or anything like that. I didn't threaten to beat anybody up or anything. But they missed out, a lot of the stuff they missed out is the way these shops operate, the way they treat the local community. they'll move in, they're God, you do anything, they'll get people out to beat you up. There's no affording the police with these people. Their first sort of thing is deal with themselves with violence and stuff like that. And I mean, it's a shop owner. Shop owner shouldn't be doing that. Shop owners should be contacting the police. I want better checks on these kind of shops. They should be regularly checked. The staff in it should be regularly checked. And considering kids going here, they should be having CRB checks, especially since the Free Girls scandal. After the Free Girls scandal, there was guards, there was police all over these streets to guard these stinking shops, even though everyone knew that girls had been raped in like maybe little apartments above them, like the one above there, and abused and all that lot. And they put guards out on, the police had to guard these shops, you know what I mean? And it's just ridiculous, and I'm not having it, me. I'm not having it. Next month, I think Heart of Oak are going to do a big campaign in the Rochdale area. Although I'm not part of Heart of Oak, I'm quite willing to come down and do some filming, and I've already guided them to where the best places they should go, which is this area. As I said again, the electorates, 17.68 came out in the last local elections, which is pretty ridiculous. So anybody with a good noggin who lives in this area could dominate this area as an independent or with a party if they play the cards right. What they shouldn't be afraid of is speaking out against stuff like this. The Labour candidates in this area, they won't speak out against this, they won't say nothing. It was a Labour councillor who said about the Free Girls in the Free Girls scandal that it was their choice, and then went blaming the families. That was a Rochdale councillor. I don't know where he's from, but it was a Rochdale councillor. I'm in the North Heywood area, and this is Manchester Road leading onto Manchester Street, which goes through Heywood. We're going to walk down in a minute. It's quite a busy road, so hopefully you'll still hear me sound, and we'll look at some of the shops here and that. So that was last year, early last year. I ended up being on Newsnight. They called me a PayPal Patriot. I was at the time, but I still work full time, and I always have worked full time. In the majority of the 4 years I've been active, I've always worked. But so we came up, the police said they would do a bit of an investigation, but it ended up no further action, and we're sick of it. If it was something else, they would have done it, but because it's people who don't come from round here, they just want to cover it up with political correctness. So that's a rundown of what happened. We had there's a couple of dozen adults and about 100 teenagers in this area when we did. They blocked the road off. And they all knew what was going on. I talked to them all a bit further down next to the pub there, we walked past that. And I told them all what was going on. I said, it's not acceptable. Obviously, you shouldn't be swearing at anyone or saying any names like the P word or anything. But it's unacceptable that that's how you get treated of people who are supposed to own shops. Now, the people in the shop said that the white van was nothing to do with them, but it was. It was. It wouldn't have come otherwise. It was nothing to do with them. Just, it wouldn't have bothered. This is still going on, this kind of thing. I've been talking to a lad in Ashton, and I'll be getting to that eventually. Same things happened to him in Ashton just last week. He's gone and confronted a shop, and a load of guys have turned up and beat him up, black and blue, and the police, no further action. Who did he think they are? If it was something else, if it was a white English person doing it, they'd certainly jump on your throat and charge you. But because it's someone of a different ethnicity or religion, they don't want to get involved, and it's just ridiculous. So this happened last year around January. I did do a Facebook Live about it, but since then I've been disabled. I'm doing a video now which will get uploaded to Facebook, YouTube as well, so they won't be so easy to take it down. I haven't said anything nasty, aggressive, racist or anything like that. I'll give you a rundown of the population. Let me say the electorate's 10,000, 9,500 are white, 7,000 Christian. So a couple of thousand no religion, but I'm guessing all the people in this area would have been brought up with Church of England values. or Catholic values, certainly. The turnout was only 17.68, which is absolutely dismal for a turnout of an electorate that big. And the local councillor in charge at the moment is Ray Dutton, Labour. So the main road there is Manchester Road. It goes further down in Heywood that way. We'll walk that way now. And that is Manchester Street then, going through the centre of Heywood. Like I said, there's a lot of shady looking shops with flats above them. Again, this is the area of the 3 girls scandal. I'll just hold up, there's some digger here, so you won't be able to hear me, I'll just be quiet. Starkey. I think we went in there and having a pint after the demonstration, after our little action. Just one of many little actions I've done. So a Patriot got in contact with us, asked us to help him out, get it on social media, and we did. And the police said they would further investigate it, but it ended up no further action. Cheers. Still on Manchester Road. I think it makes Manchester Street now, it should be here. Railway going through to Rochdale, further Preston area, it goes up that way. So yeah, and these are just a couple of kind of little actions I do. Patriot phoned us up, got in contact with us, I know him well. Been on many demos and that, London and that. And we came to support him. Well, we got the local community out. Like I said, there was about 150 teenagers, a couple of dozen adults, including the lads who were attacked, their mums, their families. I talked to the eldest lad who got beat up afterwards, who they followed as well. I talked to his parents, and I talked to the other parents of the other lads as well. So look, there's shops here, down here, little cafes and that. Obviously, I'm guessing a lot of them will be white owned, but there is kebab shops and stuff like that in this area. Little side streets with little flats in and stuff like that. And this is a typical kind of area where this stuff happens. They did it in Oldham. The 3 girls scandal was linked to Oldham because a couple of the guys either worked in Oldham or were from Oldham. Got a hand car wash here. I don't know who that's owned by. I'm on 19 minutes. I'll probably do about 30 minutes. But I'll give you a good explanation of what happened at that shop. I ended up on Newsnight. Katie at Razzle ended up putting me on Newsnight. Britain's Yellow Vest activists. I'll put the video up. But like I said, she didn't say anything about what I was saying about the cafes, the kebab houses and stuff like that. And it's well known in the grooming gangs that across the northwest that they operate with, through these takeaways, little flats above the takeaways, using the local taxi ranks to traffic the children around Greater Manchester It's very well known that's stated in the GA's report. I will be putting that link up as well. A lot of similarities, but they didn't say nothing like that on the report. They didn't show any of that footage or anything like that. All they showed was me calling them fake news, and me under my breath wanting to smash their equipment up, telling them F off when they were going. That's all. But I'm not here to cause any kind of tension. Why don't we have checks on these shops? The immigration should be going to these shops, checking for illegals. And really, if these shops serve children, they should have CRB checks on them. And we don't do anything like that. And then all these young girls, young as 11-year-old, are abused. Just not having it. I have actually got my Children Matter jumper on today. So I mean, some shops over there, one of them could be a shop with a flat above it. You never know. Like I said, all the kebab houses and that in this area, they had to be guarded or shut down to protect them from the local residents after the Free Girls scandal. It's just ridiculous. Loads of little shady side streets, typical for a little town centre area. So yeah, obviously I've got something against the media. Katie Razzle and Yasminara Khan did that report. Did that report on Newsnight, and just making us look right. Right arseholes. They go on about Tracy's case in it, and they say, oh, driver lost control. That driver never lost control of that car in the Free Boys scandal. Well, how do I know? Because I've seen the crash report. Tracy showed it many of people. I had a copy of that just not long ago, and I read out the first line. There was another paragraph backing up what the first line said, but there's going to be a documentary coming out later on in the year about the Free Boys case. Obviously, not everyone's favourite person, James, was involved in a lot of that. He did some good stuff in London, then he come up Manchester. So loads of little shady shops there. I don't know who owns them or anything like that. Coming up to 23 minutes, so I'm still on Manchester Road. As it's a little town, like I said, there's little side streets, little shady looking side streets here and there. So that's what happened. I'll give you a rundown of the electorate. The Labour dominated again. Told you about the thing in question with that Delights and what happened there. And it's typical of these kind of shops that this kind of thing happens. It's happened in Ashton just last week, and this one happened early last year. And the one in Ashton is very similar. We'll be doing a report on that in the next couple of weeks. But I said I'd be doing a report on Heywood, so this is part one. I'm in the North Heywood area of Rochdale. Heywood Market Hall there. Little area, a few nice shops and that, fish bars. Some nice chippies down here. They're still English run, and I've had food from down here. I love a good English chippy, me. Good fish and chips or something, I love it. church place. Lots of little shops over there. And a lot of these shops will have flats above them and stuff like that. And this is where the girls were abused in the Free Girls scandal. This is the main area where it all happened. And it's ridiculous. Remember, the local councillor blamed the girls even though they were 13 years old. Then the local councillor blamed the parents and saying it was their fault for however they brought up the kids. Shouldn't have happened in the first place. We should have more checks on these shops. I said this before. CRB checks if they've got a sweet shop. Certainly a kebab house should have immigration checks on them. In part 2, I'll be going into the Darnhill area of West Harewood, and I'll be doing a report on a shop there that counter-tourism have been to, Customs and Excise have been to, and the immigration services have been to. I'll be doing a pretty big report there. I did it last year, and then after I'd finished the video, a young girl come up to me, 15, said the year before she'd been groped in the shop by the scum who worked there. And illegal immigration came to that shop, took a couple of them away. They ended up in Scotland, said they felt suicidal, just let back out onto the streets. Customs and Excise, because they're selling baccy under the counter. Now, I can accept that. I can accept that shops are going to do that, considering how much tobacco is these days, right? But when Customs and Excise have been there, illegal immigration have been there, and counter-tourism have been there, just getting ridiculous. How do I know counter-tourism are there? Well, I talked to the guy who reported them. He reported them because the guys in the shop in Darnhill have been showing pictures of themselves with rocket launchers and heavy machine guns to the young lads around there, trying to intimidate them. And this is how these people work, through that kind of thing, to intimidate people. So I've come to Main Junction now. I think York Street there, going that way. Look, there's loads of shops. Probably some of them are kebab shops down there, or takeaways and that, no doubt. And then further on that way, yeah, you can turn back onto this road here, or it goes towards Rochdale, towards the centre of Rochdale. And that way goes towards Bury, through North Heywood, onto West Heywood, through over to Epton Bridge, I think, and then into Bury. Grand Pizza, Crazy Pepper, just loads of them. I hate the fact that there's so many of these nasty shops around now. I'm not saying I've never had a kebab or anything, I have, but the shops I get them from in Oldham, I've known the people in the shops all my life. I went to school with them. I've been in the kitchens. I know the people very well, but I wouldn't put it on any shop that just come up, whether they're good or not, probably nasty. There is I do regular put the food rating standards up for shops around Greater Manchester, these takeaways, and on average a lot of the takeaways that aren't English owned have a shit rating, have an absolutely crap rating. Coming up to 29 minutes, said I'd do about 30. I'm practically in the centre of Heywood now. Turkish barbers, they're popping up all over the place. That's the centre of Heywood area now. I can smell food, kebabs and stuff, sort of like chippy stuff, because there are quite a few chippies here. Like I said, it's a good area for a good decent English chippy round here, and it always has been. So I'm going to upload this video onto my Facebook and then onto YouTube. Like I said, Heart of Oak are coming here next month and they're going to be leaflets in the area. Although I'm not part of Heart of Oak, I'm glad that there's some action going on in the areas. We need action. And to do with this area, there's 3 scumbags who've lost the deportation battle and they should be deported. And they're still walking the streets, walking past the victims who they abused. And it's just not right. It just isn't right, not one little bit. Lovely day today and all, lovely day. So again, I'm in North Heywood area of Rochdale. Very much linked to the Free Girls scandal. Oh, we're at the Wetherspoons. Tommy did his MEP run down here, a bit further down the road. Edwin Voix. So yeah, I'm going to be getting back on bus and I'm headed off up to Oldham. And Mum's coming out of hospital this week, just going to get her house sorted out. I'm still going to Dover. If you want to support me in anything I do, my PayPal links will be linked up here. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and my In The Box page. I haven't asked for donations for a while, but I'm highly active, as a lot of you will know. And you do more or less get value for money with me. So I'm going to carry on asking. Now, I don't care what anyone says. Anyone moans about it, tough shit. You get out there and you can see what you can do, but I am going to ask, and we're all on hard times at the moment because of this COVID thing, me included, and my work's gone right down, so I'm hardly earning anything, and if it weren't for my mates I wouldn't be getting nowhere. We've got petrol to get to Dover. It's going to cost us to get our hotels and that, but you've got some good activists going down, that's the main thing. And I'll do whatever I can around the Dover area. I was going to help people, but I'm just going to do my own thing now. I think that's a lot better. I just do my own thing. Look, another Pizza Bella shop there. Another shady looking flat above it. Looks half decent. Looks like some flowers in the window, so it looks like someone's there. Look. Italian cuisine. Cheeky Chicken, another shop, Pitt Street there. With a proper shady looking flat above there. I'm not going to edit this. What I've said on it is factual. I'll give you a rundown of the Electoral, what's going on. I'll give you a rundown of what happened at that shop. Cheeky Chicken, absolutely shady looking side entrance there. Some shady looking, dodgy looking flat above it. Spice Up right next to it, another one with a shady looking room all half smashed up. Samite KT, another kind of food shop. So this was the area. These shops had to be guarded. These shops had to be guarded after the Free Girls scandal because people were angry. I don't blame them. went on right under the noses. No one did nothing. The Labour councillors didn't do anything, and they would have known this was going on. In a lot of the situations we've had around the country, the councillors have known and they've done nothing. That's where we had Tommy's MEP. I'm going to go up there now. Happy Fish Bar. So a lot of little shady looking kebab houses and takeaways. So this is where we had the MEP run. May last year, 2019, parked his van. I think the lefties were on this bit of a grass. It was a good turnout, and I mean, I'm not, obviously I understand the message about the grooming gangs and that. My issue isn't with Islam, my issue is with the local councils, the police, who have done as much damage as anybody else to do with all this scandal. So at the time I was, I had the Britain First Bury rosette on, and I stood on one of these tables and talked to everyone after Tommy had finished and told them what I thought. I'll turn that around. No, I won't. So yeah. So I've ended up at the Harewood. This is where we had Tommy's MEP tour here. It's where we met up. Left is the centre of Harewood is down that area there. Just give you a run through. Told you what happened at that shop at the top. With the three boys, ended up no further action. Right, I'm going to be cutting off now. 37 minutes I've done. I'm going to be cutting off, and I'll bring you part two from the Darnhill area. Later on in the week. Hopefully the weather's nice. I think this is the last day of sun at the moment. It's going to be rainy the next few days. So again, Heart of Oak are coming here next month. Some of you were already had the flyers. I think they're going to go to Rochdale Centre, then they're going to come to this area. Again, the electorate's 10,000, only 17.68 came out to vote. So there's a massive gap here for somebody to get round and get people voting. And when I get to Darnhill later on, Heywood Part 2, I'll tell you a bit more about that area when we get there. But Big John here, signing off. Again, if you want to support me, my PayPal link's there. You can super chat me on my YouTube lives, and if you need to, if you message me, I can give you my bank details. Put any money in bank. It's not my bank at the moment. I'm using a friend's bank. Dave Brown is called, because my bank, I'm on restrictions with my bank at the moment. And I'm sure eventually they'll be shutting my PayPal down. But Big John, I'm in North Heywood signing off. Thank you for watching my video. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share my videos. Like my page in the box on Facebook. And I'll catch up with you all soon. Don't forget, I'm going to Dover. If you want to support me, you can do. I've had some support already. I had a donation of 150 quid. And I said to the guy, he didn't have to give me that much, and I said it to him 3 times. And what his answer was after the 3rd time was, but like, you're all over the place, John, doing everything and reporting on the issues that we all care about. So I want to give you this. He said, I can't always get out on my own. It's difficult for me, but you do it for everyone else. And I thanked him for it, big time.